everybody. Welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I am reading on today. But before we get started, if you hadn't subscribed, go right down here, find your subscribe button, and hit that subscribe button. And while you're there, hit your notification bell so you'll know when I upload or just want to pop in. And give me a thumbs up so I can fight that unrelenting beast of an algorithm. I really, really would appreciate it. And also, I have a join button. Yes, I do. I have a join button now. And that join button is for channel memberships. If you decide to join the reading club, and become a channel member, you will support this channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I would be thrilled that you have decided to support my little channel. I am just thrilled about everything that you do. Commenting, subscribing, give me a thumbs up. People have just been so gracious, and I am so appreciative for everything that you have done to support this channel. I want to give a shout out to my newest channel member, Joan Garcia. Joan Garcia, I have been knowing her for a while, but she did not know me. I used to hang out for a long time over at Byron's podcast. I wouldn't say anything, but I knew Joan, I knew Cookies and Cream, I knew Lydia, but I never did say anything. I never did join into the chat or anything like that. But just to think about all these people that I have saw support Byron are now supporting my little channel. I am so thrilled, so blessed, so grateful that they are taking a chance on me. I love all my channel members. I am so blessed. So if you want to become a channel member, hit the join button. I would appreciate it. All right, let's get into the read. When I was in these internet streets today, putting together the read, I ran across an article. It's not the article I'm going to feature in the read, but it's going to help me to explain why I came up with the read that I did. It was an article in Express, and they were doing an interview or getting quotes from Charles's ex-butler. I think his name is Grant Harrell. And I have saw him in the past on GB News and whatnot. He is not as bad as Paul Burrows, that Diana's butler, that the one that has been living off her name since she passed away, and before that, after she passed away, stealing her things. Now that's bad. Now Grant Harrell is not as bad as him, but he was giving quotes, I guess, to Express, the Daily Express, and he was talking some nonsense. And some of the nonsense that he was talking was about Harry and William. He was saying that Eugenie would be the person that could help Harry and William to heal their rift, which is laughable. Eugenie can't perform miracles, and that's what it would take for this rift to be healed, because William is a jealous, petty man, and he is jealous and petty of his brother and his wife. And that is what the rift is about. The only way the rift can be healed is somebody change. William is not, I feel William is never going to stop being jealous and petty because it's ingrained in who he is. And Harry and Meghan cannot stop being exceptional because it's ingrained in who they are. And because of those two factual things, Harry and Meghan and William and Kate, the rift will not be healed. Because William is only happy and only willing to heal the rift, if he can keep his foot on Harry's neck and control Harry's wife's shine. And we all know that that's not going to happen. So it's nothing Eugenie can do about that. But that's not the nonsense that I really want to focus in on that he was talking about, even though that is some nonsense. Whew, that is. But I want to focus in on the other nonsense he was talking about. He was saying that he thought that Harry should have asked Charles for permission to accept the invitation from Columbia to take the trip to Columbia. And I was saying to myself, I just cannot understand the mindset of these royalists. How easily and how freely they are they give deference to a man who has done nothing to be bowed to or to considered or be put on a golden throne and put stolen jewels on his head and call him your majesty, except slip through a birth canal. That is all Charles has ever done. And why he think an American citizen should ask for permission to do anything, because Meghan is and has always been an American citizen. And why Harry should ask for permission is weird to me because Harry left that family. And that is the reason why he left it, so he could do what he wanted to do with his life, with his family, with his career. Why would he be asking Charles anything? They are so quick to say that Harry is not a part of that family, that Harry is not a royal anymore, which is stupid because he was born a royal and he'll die one. But they always say that. He's not a working royal. Why would he be asking Charles about anything? Crazy, crazy, crazy. And it really got me to thinking how they have, their expectations of Harry, their expectations of his continued deference to them, even after he has left the royal fold. And it stems from how they have treated him all of his life. It motivated me to look back because I found an article and it is based on segments from that Jobson book. And it's about Meghan being shocked of the disparity between the brothers when she saw William and Kate's apartment, 20-room apartment. And Harry and her was living in a 2-bedroom shack called Not Caught. And why wouldn't she be surprised by that? And it got me to looking back on the treatment that Harry has always received from that family. And that Meghan introduction into the mix is what freed Harry and was why it was such a threat to William and Charles. Because when you look back, Harry was a neglected child. He was a emotionally abused child. And they used him, abused him, neglected him freely, both William and Charles. Let's look at some pictures of Harry growing up, and it proves my point, and it proves Meghan's point. Because the name of the article is Meghan Markle felt Prince Harry deserved more materially after seeing William and Kate's apartment. It proved what I'm going to show you is going to prove Meghan's point and my point that Harry was neglected and Harry was emotionally abused. Here we go. Let me find them. This is Harry leaving school. This is the king's youngest son with his belongings in a garbage bag. Look at his clothes, ill-fitting. Don't look like anybody cared anything. Look, take another look. Ill-fitting. Sorry about the ring light. Take a look at this one. Harry has a suit coat on with pants that has holes in them, with shoes that look like he has worn them for years and years and years. Look, look at the. You see the hole in the Did you see the hole that's in the leg of the pants and the shoes? This is Harry. Just I say him and Meghan maybe was married a couple of weeks and they went to a wedding. Harry had holes in his shoes when Meghan married him. This is the kitchen of the house that Harry and Meghan was living in while William and Kate was living in a 20-room apartment. I have never known a apartment being 20 rooms, but evidently that's a thing. That's an apartment building, not an apartment. But I digress. This is not Cots, the house where Harry and Meghan was living, which was a step down for Meghan because Meghan had a beautiful home in California and a beautiful rental home in Canada. I mean, decorated to the gods. And she moved into this. And William them was living over there living good. It was a 2-bedroom house. Had 2 bedrooms, and one of the bedrooms they had to use as a dressing room. And this is a picture of the living room. And this is a picture of the backyard. And the bricks are so separated that I was scared. If I was Megan, I would have been scared that my dog would have fell in and I never would have got him out. Do you see how the bricks are separated? That's what they had Harry living in. And before that, Harry said he returned from school and Clarence house, biggest Clarence house is, Camilla chose his bedroom to make a dressing room out of it. He got home from school and he didn't even have a place to stay. And they put him over here in this. And it was worse than this. Meghan made it livable. And this is the king's son. This is how Harry was treated by his father, by his brother. And when they saw Meghan, they knew that their days of mistreating Harry would be over. And they did everything that they could to get rid of her. Let's read this article. Let's go into this article and then we're going to talk about what Meghan said. It said, this is out of the Independence. It said, Meghan Markle felt Prince Harry deserved more materially after seeing William and Kate's apartment. Meghan believed Prince Harry deserved more materially after she visited the Prince and Princess of Wales apartments on the grounds of Kensington Palace for the first time, the royal biographer has claimed. The Duke of Sussex, now 39, was living in one of the smallest properties on the estate at the time. Even I think Beatrice and Eugenie lives over there. They had places in Kensington Palace. And their place was bigger than Harry's and Meghan. And Harry and Meghan doing all the work, all the heavy lifting, all the overseas trips. And they're living. And you should see the home that Edward and Sophie has. And they wanted Harry and Meghan to have the scraps. Even when they moved to Frogmore Cottage, that place was nothing to really be bragging on. The reason it cost so much is because it was so run down to restore it. And I don't know if y'all remember at the time, but they were talking about Harry and Meghan was going to have Adelaide Cottage, which was already move in ready. But they didn't give it to Harry and Meghan. They gave them rundown Frogmore Cottage, which took so much to make even livable. I think it was a little over $2 million to make it livable because we have saw into it now and it was nothing special. All that money went to making it livable. I bet it had mold and everything else going on in it. The reason it cost so much. It wasn't because of the furnishings and the design, because it wasn't anything special at all. But even after they moved to Frogmore Cottage, William and Kate had 3 properties. Harry and Meghan had Frogmore Cottage and ended up after Harry and Meghan got Frogmore Cottage, William wanted that. And he got Adelaide Cottage. That is the reason why Harry and Meghan now, because I know the news media was talking about Harry and Meghan was going to move into Adelaide Cottage. And they were talking about how big it was and how nice it was. And William got Adelaide Cottage. Never thought about moving out of London until Harry and Meghan moved out of London. That's them. Let's go on. Prince William and Kate, meanwhile, was living in a spacious 20-room apartment A, their London home, ever since marrying in 2011. Harry and them was married and they were still in that little old cramped 2-bedroom shack. They were trying to get out of it before Archie was born. Meghan was already pregnant and still living there. She left her nice things to move in there because she loved Harry. And William has all his life has been jealous of Harry's shine, Harry's ease with people, his ability to attract people, his ability to charm people. William doesn't have anything close to that. William is very put offish. He has that kind of personality. He tries to fake it, but it's so clearly fake. He gets this weird look in his eyes when he's trying to be relatable because he's not. And he has been jealous of that. And he has always made sure that he had his foot on Harry's neck, made sure that Harry had nothing while he had everything. And when Meghan showed up and told Harry, this is not right, William hated her for it. And this butler has the nerve to think that Harry would want to come back to this just to do tours when he's already doing tours, when he's already doing visits on his own terms with his wife. I am sure that the rift will pretty much never be healed because Harry will never allow William to have his foot on his neck again. Harry is not going to be happy with the scraps anymore. And that's all William is willing to give him because that's what makes William feel good. When his brother is on his knees, he stands tall. As long as he was in his 20-room luxury apartment and Harry was over there in that little 2-bedroom shack with the bricks coming apart in the backyard, William stood tall, never even inviting his brother over for dinner, never inviting his brother and Meghan over for dinner. They just invited them over there so they could yell at them about some kind of baby brain mess and didn't get them an Easter present, all because they were petty and jealous. That's what that was about. They never would have invited Harry and Meghan over. And Harry and Meghan invited them over. They never would have came over if it hadn't been for Meghan. William wouldn't have never set foot in that little old shack. But I hate to break it to Grant Harold, but this rift is never going to heal because now Harry agrees with Meghan. that he deserves better. And he now has better. And he has it on his own terms. You know, every time that I really drag Camilla is when I think about the little boy, the little neglected little boy, Harry, and how she used him to rehabilitate herself, and how Charles used him. I mean, they used Harry, abused Harry every chance they got. They used him, abused him, and neglected him. And William did the same. He didn't even have his brother to have his back. And that's when I drag her. That's when I drag Charles. And that's why I continue to drag William. What a petty, petty, jealous human being you are. That you could not see that your brother has always been on your side. Harry has always loved William, but William has never loved Harry. And I think Harry has finally got the message and agrees with Meghan. He deserved better. And that's why William wanted to separate Harry from Meghan, because he knew Meghan could see it. And she was going to show Harry, and she did. And now Harry lives in a big mansion on big grounds with a big pool and tennis courts and all of the things that he has earned to get. And he lives the life that William wants. And I am just loving that for him. I love that for Harry, because when you think of that little boy who lost his mother and was neglected and forgotten by the firm until they needed a news story to plant in the newspaper to protect Charles or Camilla or William. That's the only time Harry was thought of. He really, really deserves it. And I cannot wait to watch them in Colombia. And I am going to hold my head out the window and see, can I hear the scream coming from London? Or no, when they don't live in London anymore. They live in Windsor. If I can hear the screams coming from Windsor, because I know they're going to be loud enough to be at least be heard in the town of Windsor, because Harry keeps on winning, and so does Meghan. And I hate to break it to Harold Grant, whatever his name is, that this rift will never be healed. I predicted it 5 years ago. If you go back, I have a video. It it's never going to be healed because of the level of jealousy coming from William. It's never going to be healed. Harry would forgive him, but William can't allow himself to be forgiven, to do the things he needs to do to be forgiven. His jealousy and his pettiness will not allow him to do it. So, squatties, let's get ready to enjoy our faves in Columbus, in Colombia, in Colombia, because this mess is just a distraction. It's no rift going to be healed. It's no olive branch that is ever going to fix William. All right, y'all. That's it. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.